Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yup, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. New Sonny V2. I'm finna say we got a new Sonny V. 80% of Pimp My Ride was fake. Here's the evidence. You know how some did you see Xzibit not too long ago came out and said like Pimp My Ride wasn't fake. It was actually real. But I'm like, you are the voice of it. You are honestly the face of it. So what do you look like coming out and saying, nah?
Yeah, the whole time it was fake. It was fake and everything. Yeah.
But honesty and transparency goes a long way though, right? Mm-hmm. But also lying for a company that you made millions of goes a long way too. Was
everything fake or was things just kind of exaggerated?
That's the part.
That's what I don't know. I'm not sure of.
Like, was the car really theirs already? But what I heard was a lot of people some of them had to, well, I'll say some, not all, a lot or all. But some people had to pay for it at the end. That's something I heard before. And then the vehicle you saw was more of an exaggerated version, and they took some of the stuff off and left. That's the only two things I've heard. But we're gonna find out today, man. So with that being said, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go, man. You want the first part, all you gotta do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's video,
like it with a thumbs up.
And I would also say you can't take this for verbatim. You gotta use your own discernment to, you know what I'm saying? Just because somebody did a video and state facts doesn't mean everything is, or state facts for you to believe doesn't mean it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can't just take everybody's word for everything.
It's true, but I don't think that this is really
some people, you never know. Mm-hmm.
No, I was about to say, I don't think that this is like that serious to lie. Like really care.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I feel you.
I
feel you. Hey, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
You're at a house. It's not my house. It's a staged house.
And the contestants' houses weren't the only thing Pimp My Ride lied about. The reactions were staged and retaken multiple times. Certain upgrades were taken off as soon as the cameras cut.
It's for a boat. He goes, it's a GPS for waterways. It will not work in your car.
And disappointingly, even Xzibit himself had no real interest in cars.
Soccer moms coming up to me, telling me about their husband and their car that he had since the 60s. And I was like, stop talking to me about this. I know as much as you do.
When asked if the show was fake, a former contestant replied with a single word correct, which isn't surprising as the show even lied about who the contestants were. For example, in season 2, episode 10, Brooke was introduced as a 22-year-old film lover working hard to go to grad school, which had been fabricated by the producers as she was actually a 25-year-old cocktail waitress planning to move back to New York. The reason for this—
why lie about that though?
That actually sounds better than well, I say this. A 22-year-old, somebody who's working hard and wants to go, it's a better, especially at that time, was a better believing story than a 25-year-old who's struggling and we want to pimp her ride.
And let me say this, because in the beginning I said it's not that serious. Some people may not care. If the contestants thought that it was real, then I see why it would affect them. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know like what type of deals and contracts they signed. So that is definitely serious. If they felt like they was going into something real, but in actuality it was like they were like, bamboozled.
I think her story would have worked either way though.
Yeah, it would have worked either way.
But it does sound better to say she's a 22-year-old who's pursuing her career, going to school, struggling.
I mean, she was about to go somewhere.
Driving a hoopty while you in college.
I mean, I guess it was a little fabricated, but she was going somewhere.
She was struggling anyway, so...
Yes, I mean...
It ain't that big of a deal on that part.
Blamed by Jake from season 3 was because Pimp My Ride only picked people in their early 20s.
There was a strict age limit of 22 years old.
Confirming that the show was lying about contestants' details before filming had even started. In the first 30 seconds of each episode, Xzibit emphasizes that each contestant doesn't know they're about to get picked.
He has no idea. I'm about to pimp his ride.
Yet this was strange as the contestant always answered the door, always had a microphone on them, and even had their windows blacked out as if they didn't want cameras seeing inside. Ride. Well, it turns out Brooke, the supposed 22-year-old film lover, had been pre-selected by a friend to appear on the show, and as a result she'd state when Xzibit showed up at my house to tell me I'd been chosen, not a surprise. What was a surprise was when the producers made me react and then react again to Xzibit showing up, finally coercing me into doing a cartwheel, and she wasn't the only contestant who'd had this experience.
And they coach you on how to say it and what to say and everything like that.
The show didn't have an actual script, but they did steer the dialogue in a direction that they wanted.
But that's because, I'll say this, most of the average person reaction gonna be boring. Like, that's the reason why actors get paid to act, because they can be, oh my God, no fucking way. The average person, Xzibit show up, oh, you're from Pimp My Ride? Whoa, okay. And that's not like, at the end of the day, it's for TV. I don't need your dry ass energy or your just, because everybody don't have energy.
But my thing is, okay, if that is the case, I get the show, it's over, whatever. But if that was the case, then I guess make it more real. Like, I get it. Like, I guess
but realness don't sell. At the end of the day, they gotta sell.
Make it more real as far as like just making more of a surprise and not really knowing.
Reality TV has never been reality.
I know, but I'm saying, what do you want from me?
They have to
I
sell
already
it.
knew you was coming.
They
got
need the
myself
ratings.
together. This is what you gonna get.
I need you to have energy soon.
And then honestly, me, even though I may want my ride pimped, and if I knew y'all was gonna take
they
it
used
after
to do the most shit,
after
though.
the second time, you telling me to fake something.
Don't worry about it.
I don't even worry about it because I don't even want to do it. I don't want to do it no more. You can leave.
But also, when most people tell you, hey, I could turn your, say for instance, somebody pull up saying, hey, I could turn that Nissan out there into like the dopest ride ever. I'm like, shit, I want to see it.
If you gonna let me keep the parts.
But we ain't even got to that part yet. I'm saying the excitement and enjoyment. You be like,
When
oh,
you
you got to
said
do that
that
shit
you
again.
heard.
I'm
See,
gonna
you
come
should've
at
told me
the
that you
door.
heard.
No, I'm gonna come at the door. Oh my fucking yo!
Ouch!
You see? Oh my fucking God, it's Xzibit! No way! And I'm gonna be, oh my God!
I'm like, you
Yo,
don't
see, get your ass down! You know what I'm saying?
But
They finna pimp the ride!
okay, well, I don't know. You said that you heard, so you should look. I don't know.
Everything like that.
The show didn't have an actual script, but they did steer the dialogue in a direction that they wanted. If I said something they liked, they would have me repeat it over and over on camera. This had been commented by Seth, who appeared in season 5, who was also well aware that Xzibit was coming to his house, stating, "They told me I was in the running for my own episode, but it was between me and 2 other people. When I was sitting in the house waiting for a knock at the door, they said that it was either going to be Xzibit or a producer telling me I didn't win. Thinking back on it, that was all bullshit, but it did make the surprise genuine, which was the same experience as Erin from season 4, episode 2.
She was one of 3 contestants. One of them would be chosen. Someone came and knocked at the door. If it was Xzibit, they won.
Each contestant was at least somewhat aware that they'd be getting a knock on the door because, well, the homes they were in were actually owned by Pimp My Ride. A Huffington Post article clarified these houses.
That makes it even worse.
That makes it totally different.
That makes it worse.
Okay, baby. Okay, but that makes it
They were in were actually owned by Pimp My Ride. A Huffington Post article clarified these houses were oftentimes not the contestants' homes. Instead, each dwelling had been rented by MTV. For example, when Jake from season 3 was asked, did the film crew show up and stage the whole surprise as part of the episode, he'd respond by stating it wasn't my house. It was a place owned by one of the crew members. Similarly, Seth from season 5 stated, the house was rented from Craigslist because I lived in an apartment, and they need a house with a big open driveway for filming, which is certainly reasonable, although sometimes the house was part of the person's story. In season 2, for example, Eric's car had supposedly been beat up in the rough streets of Compton.
In Compton, ain't no street lights in Compton.
However, judging from a quick look at Google Maps, it seems the episode was filmed in a much nicer neighborhood. So if Eric's story was inconsistent and Brooke's story from earlier was downright fabricated, then who else's stories were exaggerated for the sake of the show? Well, it seems pretty much all of them. In season 3, Jake's Buick had been bought from his grandma who smoked, and as a result the show threw an extra few dozen cigarette butts in the car to make her just look like a totally disgusting person. On top of this, the show interviewed Jake's girlfriend toward the start of the episode, yet MTV apparently questioned me having a girlfriend and suggested I dump her because it was better for my desperate dude with a shit car image. A producer later responded by stating, "Why would we want a kid to break up with his girlfriend? How would that have helped the show?" So while Jake's claim about his girlfriend was somewhat questionable, the cigarette story was confirmed by Seth, who had a similar experience. "I know I'm fat, but they went the extra mile to make me look extra fat by telling the world that I kept candy all over my seat and floor just in case I got hungry." However, it seems the fakest story was Justin's in season 6. His front bumper had supposedly fallen off in a car crash.
Here is the result of a 3-car pileup right here.
Although according to a 2010 tweet, my friend Justin was on Pimp My Ride. On TV, he said his RAV4 was involved in a 3-car crash. No, it wasn't. Dude beat his car up with a bat. The same user then clarified what he told me.
But the thing is, he could have told MTV that his car was in a... We don't know what he had since his initial,
Yeah, but he has to go with the story that they wrote out.
No.
Right?
No, he could have... I'm saying, you had... back in the day, you had to email them a sad story.
Yeah.
So they might have heard that your car bumper was falling from you. So they said, hey, we're going to really push that you was in a 3-car crash.
Right, so...
He said, hey, my friend Justin actually, because I witnessed him beat it with a bat. Justin could have said, hey, my bumper is hanging off. But he did it himself, but he needed to fabricate. You saying the story MTV said. That was what you were saying. I'm not saying that.
Well, I'm saying
this is Justin's story.
Justin, what story are you saying Justin sent in to MTV?
That he was then involved in a 3-car crash.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's why I said either, I agree. Either he said that, which was a lie, or they made him say that.
I don't believe that. I think he lied to get on TV. Because you got to think of the time.
Because that sounds a little bit better than I beat my car
with a bat.
And I ain't got the money to get it fixed, so hey, let me try to win.
Or he just beat it up to try to win.
Or that too. Yeah. But
because anybody, you tell me, I don't really like the car I got, but I really can't afford nothing else, but you can come over here and do some upgrades to my car.
I wouldn't even do that because it's not a guarantee that I'll be chosen.
Exactly.
So...
car crash. No, it wasn't. Dude beat his car up with a bat. The same user then clarified what he told me was that MTV suggested to him that he and his friend should do more damage to the car, which was confirmed by Justin himself, who'd add, yes, they removed my front bumper, used aircraft remover, and enhanced the dent on the side of my car. Whilst introducing the episode, Justin stated,
one of my crazy ex-girlfriends actually threw nail polish on my hood.
Although when he was asked why are all your ex-girlfriends so angry, Justin revealed it was just something I made up, while Erin from season 4 was also encouraged to make her car look bad.
They asked to leave trash in the car. We went to In-N-Out, and so they told me to leave it in the cup holder, so I did.
It seems the only real part of the show's intro was Xzibit's improvised dialogue.
Because it wasn't scripted. I could say whatever I want to say.
And when Xzibit drove the car to the shop.
Xzibit did actually take the cars and drive them away, with the exception of a few that were too broken down, and then they made it look like he did.
Although this segment created even more problems. Most people believe that PMR takes the car and gives it back in like a week or something. That's what I thought was going to happen too, but in actuality they took my car for roughly 7 months, being a massive inconvenience for some of the show's contestants.
And they make it look like they're moving really, really fast, but in reality, they weren't.
When asked for the 5 months they had your car, did they supply you with a replacement car? Justin from season 6 replied, no, they gave me $2,000 to rent a car. But I was 19 at the time. I rented a car for a month and it cost me $1,000, forcing Justin to find his own transport for the remaining 4 months. Seth from season 5 had a similar experience, being forced to go to a really small shady company off the freeway by LAX because they were the only ones willing to rent to me because of my age. It sucked having that.
That is true though, like from being in a rental car company.
Yeah.
Because it looks good to Pimp My Ride for a younger person. Well, the age thing shouldn't have mattered. It should have been more based off the story. If I'm trying to sell it for TV. But the audience, I guess they wanted to, the reason why they went
to a certain audience or something.
And it was best to have people that look like them.
Yeah.
So, I guess, but the thing is, you make it hard because typically, from being in a rental car company, a 19-year-old come to me to say, we tax the hell out of young people when it comes down to rental car. Well, I used to. Yeah. But, because they don't want to rent to young people. So, you tell a young person they're finna be out of car for months, it's gonna be hard on them. And then rental cars ain't cheap.
Yeah.
Y'all should provide like a stash car, something that ain't perfect, but something that can get them from point A to point B for a couple months. If y'all know y'all gonna have that car for a couple months.
True. I just want to know, like, with like situations like this, because I know most TV is like very scripted and stuff like that. But what information is told up front or withheld? Because okay, if you tell me that it's gonna technically take y'all 7 months, 5 months, however long, a couple months, I'm gonna be like, that's inconvenient for me. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
And one thing I've noticed from a lot of times with situations like this. A lot of people ain't gonna tell, even them, the people who were on the show, they're not gonna tell 100% the truth. They're gonna always paint the narrative to benefit themselves. So they're not gonna come out flat out and tell y'all everything from the negative end from their selves. They just gonna tell you the negative stuff from the other people's end. So that's why I was like, can't take it all for 100% truth.
Just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
car because they wouldn't take payments over the phone, so once a month they had to drive all the way from West Covina to LAX just for them to swipe my card. Although the rental situation was better for other contestants.
They had my car for about 6 months, and that time I had the rental car for 6 months as well.
With Jake from season 3 adding, they gave me a really nice Mitsubishi Lancer to drive for the time they had the Buick. In the meantime, the crew began to plan how the rides were going to be pimped, although according to a former production staffer, this was also somewhat staged. The boardroom scenes with the WCC crew took a long time to shoot. They often had to be fed line by line. Some of those guys never really got used to being on TV. Some of the lines in the shop probably seem rehearsed because producers would come up with them and feed them to the WCC guys, although excluding this, the mechanics were fairly innocent. The segment where they'd pimp the car was almost impossible to fake.
They really did put shit in the vehicles and change everything out.
But when contestants were shown what their new car looked like, Pimp My Ride employed even more staging. Finally came the day for the big reveal. They filmed my reaction to the car at least 10 times before I'd even seen it. And when I did, holy hell, poor Betsy looked like Barbie's dream car from hell. It was pimped to the nines and hideous. This had been written by Brooke, who gave a much different reaction during her episode.
Beautiful, perfect color, exactly the color I want.
While every other contestant also filmed their reveal multiple different times.
We had to take a lot of takes over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Justin stated they had to keep retaking my reaction. Seth stated I even had to do the reveal of the car like 3 times. However, Jake's reaction anecdote was the strangest of them all. His first real reaction to the car was just quiet amazement where he said this is good. They immediately yelled redo and then things got a bit weirder. I remember this very clearly. Big Dane, very big dude, he like puts his arm around my shoulder, kind of walks me around the shop for like 10 minutes and he's like, listen, we put a lot of work into this. We expect you to be a little more enthusiastic, although it would have been hard to conjure enthusiasm for a car that barely worked. As Jake would later write, the problem with the show is they don't fix any of the mechanical issues and my car was a piece of shit. What they did was make my piece of shit sound exceptionally awesome, which is great, just not great enough to drive on roads. The HuffPost article expanded on this by stating, the car needed a muffler, and so a fake exhaust pipe was installed to make it seem as if that's what the car was supposed to sound like, even though it was just a lack of a muffler, while Xzibit brought up a much more dangerous incident.
There was an instance where one of the cars wasn't fixed correctly, and long story short, this kid was driving this vehicle that was supposed to be like damn near brand new, and the steering wheel came off when he was driving it.
Hell no. That is the most dangerous shit y'all.
Wow.
That's because honestly, they did cosmetic.
Yeah.
They didn't do like my thing is, which is to be honest, that's what they are supposed to do. West Coast Customs is more of cosmetic customs. They're not doing mechanical work on the car as far as fixing and repairing the engine and all that. They're trying to make the outside be more appealing. Like if you go through it with the concept, hey, they ain't finna put no new brakes on that shit. They ain't finna put like no new tune-up. That's not gonna be seen. They need, because also tax radar purposes. Hey, it's got to be stuff that can be seen on the car, and not necessarily the engine. And so most people, when they take a car here, they looking at like, hey, I need my engine fixed on this bitch too to make sure this joint can run. But y'all also are reliable for anything that happens to this car after the fact, unless y'all make them sign waivers.
Yeah.
Which is on that end messed up for real.
Right.
Because if I'm driving a car and the steering wheel comes out, that's life or death situation.
Right.
And that could be 100% dangerous. But you were finna say something?
No.
That was supposed to be like damn near brand new, and the steering wheel came off when he was driving it.
It's therefore no surprise that the production staff has said, I can say that the cars often weren't fully ready when we shot the reveal. Some had to stay in the shop another week or so to get finished before the kids got them back, especially if they had mechanical issues, and it was Seth and his candy bars who seemed to fit this category. Pimp My Ride doubled down on his supposedly crappy diet by installing a cotton candy machine in the boot of the car, which didn't even work as the cotton candy machine didn't have a protective hood that fit. So if I tried turning it on, it would get candy strands everywhere. Very messy, so I never used it again after the shoot. Seth also never used the LED lights installed in the seats as they would get really hot if left on, while he also had to remove the gull-wing doors because the pistons used to lift them kept them from putting seatbelts in the back, which was highly dangerous. To add a cherry on top of the cake, he had to fork out a further $1,700 for a brand new engine, then adding, after that I drove it for a month before someone hit me and totaled it. However, the end to Justin's RAV4 was even more brutal. After 5 years of taking his pimped out ride to car shows, Justin's RAV4 caught on fire whilst driving as a result of faulty wires. It was later confirmed that this had nothing to do with the show, and at least Justin's car was the same one he first sent in, as when Tavrish uploaded a video titled I'm
finna say, damn,
But
no.
still, like, dang.
It's look, his, I ain't gonna lie, look good.
He was taking that thing to car shows, showing that thing off, child. But yeah.
So my thing is, when did he come out and say something about the show? After you can reap the benefits from it no more? Because as long as you was taking the car shows and stuff, I guess he wasn't complaining. Because he was getting attention he wanted. You get what I'm saying?
I can't remember. Oh, well, his was the one with the bumper.
And then his friends then came out and said all this, and then he said, you know what I'm saying, I had to get a rental car for a certain. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, when did you come out and start saying negative stuff about the show? When you
was it only after your friend put something on the internet?
Or was it after you couldn't get, after the car shows and stuff stopped happening?
Well, we don't know.
Or after they caught on fire, then we want to start?
Yeah, I don't know.
At least Justin's car was the same one he first sent in, as when Tavrish uploaded a video titled I bought an abandoned Pimp My Ride minivan, he'd make a shocking discovery. The show originally introduced the minivan as a 1998 Plymouth Grand Voyager, however Tavrish discovered the car was now a 1999 Dodge Caravan, showing that after they wrecked the original minivan, the show sneakily pimped a completely different car. As a result, Xzibit has been the brunt of most of the show's backlash.
I was the face of the show, you know what I'm saying? So people associate me with what happened to the car.
Which feels pretty unfair given every contestant has said he's an awesome guy. In fact, Xzibit only did Pimp My Ride for the following reason.
I actually did Pimp My Ride because I thought they was gonna play my music videos.
However, it instead seemed to have the opposite effect.
The show was taking away my credibility of what I've already done. It was taking so much time. I wasn't able to tour. I wasn't able to record albums.
Oh, damn, I definitely didn't know.
I was there filming.
Which is even more depressing given he was barely paid for it.
But at that particular time, you wasn't really happy with the pay though. Nah.
And as a result, it's no surprise that Pimp My Ride is unlikely to make a comeback.
When are we gonna get a Pimp My Ride?
No, there'll be no more Pimp My Ride.
Xzibit said, heck
I ain't gonna hold you.
Count me out.
And then if they did do it, he like, I would not
please
have
don't call me.
Yeah.
I would never touch anything y'all got it going.
That's crazy, though.
But yeah, I don't know, like,
cause I heard him talk about like the reason why, cause he's been doing interviews lately, so I did hear him speak on why he took the show. Cause he said at first he didn't want to do Pimp My Ride. He said a couple people had to come to him like, hey, you know what I'm saying, exposure, the music stuff and all that. He's like, okay, you look at it that way, it's more marketable. Yeah. But he said other than that, he didn't want to do the show. Like, so it makes sense. Like I think it kind of did help him as far as the market wise, but him as an artist, I don't think it didn't help him as an artist. But I feel like if he took advantage of the opportunity he got from it, I think it would have expanded him more as far as a I'm trying to find the right word, but just him as an individual he could have got movie roles from it. He could have get put on other, like, you got to take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, I'm hot right now. I'm being seen on this show, Pimp My Ride. Put me in a movie. Get better at the acting thing. Like, I think some people, like, kind of how like Ludacris went away from the music, got into film, and been there ever since. Sometimes you have to, like, take advantage of the marketing and just level up from it. You know what I'm saying? And once you level up from it, that's where the bag is. The bag ain't staying in the same industry. It's to impact that industry. Then when you get an opportunity for more exposures, elevate to that and keep elevating. Yeah. Take new opportunities for exposure and to be able to make sure your name is still that. You know? But, hey, who knows, man?
I don't think we would do I even want something? I would say
Pimp My Ride, like a show like that.
Just like something to that nature. To be honest, like with all like the negativity and all that, I doubt it.
But like we always say, half of these shows are fake.
Yeah, majority of things you watch.
Like I used to like the History Channel when they used to restore the cars. I used to watch them joints weekly. Yeah. In college, but like some of those might have been fake.
Oh, the one I used to had me in the chokehold was the Pawn.
Oh, Pawn.
The Pawn Show. What was it called? Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars. Which one you talking about? The Pawn Stars or the one in Detroit?
Which one was that one with the sister and the brother and the daddy? Yeah. I used to watch that one.
And everybody say that was 100%.
Which one was, I thought that was...
They said that was 100% fake. You know how you used to always see everybody in there? People said they were toured and visited. And nobody would ever be in there.
I heard everything was scripted. I heard it was fake. But that's what I'm saying, hit me in the chokehold. I'm thinking like, oh my gosh. I knew it was exaggerated because it was very like commentary.
Even the tow truck joint.
Oh, the tow.
Yeah, with Bernice and all them. Them folks weren't even in it. Too. They weren't real tow company.
But I kind of had a feeling some of that stuff. It just felt exaggerated. You feel me? Like it just like you could feel it. Yeah. But I mean, some people just don't. Like,
they for the entertainment.
Yeah, just for the right. Like it entertains me. That's all that matters.
But I feel like
it
also
did entertain me. But I could tell it was a little. I'm like, I know they're not doing all this stuff.
But that's also part of the reason why I feel like television dropped so much is because y'all took the realization from it. Yeah. Especially when it was supposed to be reality TV. Yeah. Y'all took the realness out of it, and that's the reason why like places like YouTube and stuff. It felt more real. Now YouTube is becoming more scripted too. And that's the reason why a lot of people starting to fall off from that. Yeah. And that's the reason why streaming kind of... Because everybody's chasing what seems more real.
Yeah. So,
but hey, y'all spam us up, man. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it down below. But it's always... I do go by the name DJ Kid. This is... We are.
Go and get it. Ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me.